I got a bed for ya, bed for ya. Switch it up and show me your position. A transformer, you should know that I won't take you out or take it out. I got much more than just a bank account. Now lay it down.
What's up, what's up, what's up, all my beautiful people over the world? It is your girl, Baby J, and this is a tiny, clear quartz yoni egg. Yes, a crystal that you stick in your hee-hoo. I cannot wait to talk about yoni eggs on my channel or on another channel. I don't know. It depends on how this goes. And I know that's probably why you're not here. You want to know why a sign would cheat. You want to know if your boyfriend cheated. You want to know if your girlfriend's cheating according to their sun sign. And I'm here to tell you, you're never going to know for a fact until you sit down and ask your intuition and trust it to know somebody's cheating on you. And you have to be really into studying behavior and psychology and seeing things and making sure that you have no Neptunian delusions going on. I'm going to give you like a little bit of a guideline to why your zodiac sign would cheat. Sun, moon, rising. Why would your zodiac sign cheat? Why are they cheating on you, or why would they cheat on you? Not saying that everyone's a cheater. And once again, I'm not saying anyone is a cheater. I'm saying if you were to cheat, if you feel like you're the type of person that would never cheat in your life, and I don't want to hear, how dare this little black bastard talk about my sign like that, because it's almost like she's talking directly at me. Because obviously, because I'm an Aries, I'm exactly like every Aries, and every Aries is the same, so she's directly attacking me. No, wrong. I'm literally just saying, if your sign, an energy, an archetype was going to cheat, these are the reasons why they might cheat according to my imagination and study of astrology and real life experience. So without further ado, let's hop right in. So you want to know why an Aries would potentially cheat on you. It's very, very simple. An Aries likes to be entertained. An Aries likes excitement in their relationship. So one of the main reasons for why an Aries would cheat on you in a relationship, if the relationship is just getting stale, like some old worn out cookies that have never been eaten because they disgusting. Okay, if it starts getting stale, the relationship has no like oomph to it, then this is one of the reasons why the Aries would cheat on you. Because an Aries likes excitement, and Aries likes adventure, and Aries likes feeling like, you know, the relationship is like fresh and new and it's exciting, you know what I'm saying? But when it starts getting boring and drawn out, then the Aries is gonna just be like, oh my god, this sucks. And I can also say this for Aries men in particular. I'm not as sure about Aries females. If you really seriously screw with an Aries man's ego, because listen, they have this energy to them that's like, I am the first, I'm number one, I'm one of the best, or I am the best, because it's the first sign. They carry with them this energy like this person that does this stuff, and I'm this, I'm that. They have an ego to them. So if you like screw with their ego and you make them feel like less of a man, oh, there is definitely potential there for cheating to occur, because they like feeling number one in your life. They don't like competition, even though a part of them might, because they do enjoy competition and beating other people. But as soon as you put them in a situation where they're in competition and they feel like they're losing in any way and they don't have what it takes to win, then that's exactly when they'll cheat on you, just so that they can get back at you. Another reason why an Aries would cheat is because they feel tied down. They feel tied down, they feel restricted, and you're always just trying to shit on their independence. Because let's face it, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. They want a little bit of freedom. They want to be able to go out there and move mountains and make ways and all types of things that other people haven't done before. So as soon as you start trying to restrict them and telling them they have to stay in the house and they have to focus on this and not their goals and stuff like that, then they're gonna be like, you know what, bye, I can't deal with this relationship. And sometimes if they're not mature enough, they may cheat on you instead of breaking up with you. And like I said, this kind of pertains to the boredom thing. But if they feel like you don't really have anything going for yourself, like Because a lot of the times they do value ambition. They value ambition in other people. They like seeing people that are hungry and want something out of life, right? So as soon as you start getting to a place where you're kind of stagnant and you have really nothing going for yourself and you're just kind of just not doing anything and not trying to strive to get anything, they're going to get bored of you and they're not going to really be that attracted to you, because they're like, this is like, what do you want? And I think that actually goes for Aries men and women. They really do value people who are driven, who are ambitious, who want to do things in life, even though they might not want that partner to be better than them. I think the Aries energy would cheat also, lastly, because the relationship started from a foundation that wasn't solid. There was no solid foundation going into the relationship at all, and it was just a very impulsive relationship in general, and you just jumped right into it. You move way too fast, because then you didn't really get a chance to know anybody and know the person, because Aries do tend to be really impulsive. So they jump into these situations that they think that they are completely enamored by this person. They think this person is everything that they're looking for, and then they realize the relationship is not what it seems, because they didn't really know that person to begin with, and then they just feel like messed up, because they're like, wow, I'm in this situation, what do I do? And if they're not mature, they're not going to break up with you. They're going to entertain other options. Why a Taurus would cheat? Let's be completely honest and real. I'm literally talking about every zodiac sign and what is going to seduce them and tempt them in a relationship, especially if that relationship that they're in isn't too strong. And one of the first things that comes to mind when I think about that Taurian energy, we're thinking about, what does the second house represent? The second house has everything to do with money, possessions, and luxury. And I'm not saying that she a gold digger, but I am saying that a reason for why a Taurus person could potentially cheat in a relationship is if you are not making that person feel valuable. Let's say they're in a relationship with a person and they lose their job, and they're not out here trying to like find a job. They're just like turning into slobs, and they're expecting that Taurus person to hold everything down. In the meanwhile, while that other person they're in a relationship with is being a complete like lazy motherfucker. And then another person comes along, got some money, is secure in the bag, is ambitious. That Taurus person gonna look like, ooh, I like that. I like that. Even though it will probably take them a very, very long time to get there, because this is a very loyal sign. Once they do get to that point, it's pretty much over. Someone else is trying to wine and dine them, and you never doing nothing for them. You're just kind of like, oh, you know, and somebody else comes in and is like, yo, let me sweep you off your feet, sweetheart. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that for you. I'm gonna show you the goddess or king that you is. What? Oh, you never massage your Taurus girlfriend, but their little friend at school is like, oh my god, are you okay? I saw you carrying that big backpack earlier. Let me massage your shoulders for a little bit. Are you okay, sweetheart? I love you, friend. Hold up. This person is massaging me? This person cares? My boyfriend don't do none of that. Bro, it's jokes. Don't take it that deeply. It's jokes. This sign is the opposite of Scorpio. And when you think about it, the Scorpio and Taurus energies are actually very similar. They're playing two sides on the same field. You know, we're still playing the same game. It's the same arena. We know it's happening. And they both have this thing about them that could be translated by humans into this word that we can call possession or jealousy, and just this feeling like I want to hold you and you are mine. Even though for the Taurus it's more physical, it's like you are mine, right? It's like I'm holding you, I'm touching you, you're mine. They have that way about them, especially when it comes to their lover a lot of the time. So let's say the person that they're in a relationship with starts making them feel jealous and starts making them feel like they are losing them or losing control over them. The person they're in a relationship with is entertaining other people or whatever the case is. Now, the Taurus is naturally that really cool, calm, and collected energy, but when the Taurus gets triggered, and it usually has to get pushed again and again and again and again, and then, ooh, it pops, okay? That jealousy can pop out, that anger, that hidden aggression can pop out from that Taurus person, and they could just snap. And when they snap, they might do something petty, And petting could be cheating on you with another person because you were entertaining all those people and doing all those things and hidden things that were making them angry. And then they got fed up. So then they're like revenge. Especially if you're a rising sign Taurus, because that means your 7th house, your descendant, is ruled by Scorpio. So that's a hidden part of you that you don't even recognize about yourself half the time. So also when we think about Taurus, we also kind of can link this to the 2nd house. We're really thinking about value and our sense of self-esteem. So if you are in a situation with a Taurus and you're making them feel like less about themselves and you're hurting their self-esteem and you're not, kind of like I said earlier, you're not allowing them to feel valuable, and you're kind of just like poking in all their flaws and all their wrongs and stuff like that, that person could have like a broken ego after a while, and then that person would feel more likely to go cheat so that they can feel good about themselves and who they are internally, even though we already know that does not solve the issues, that does not solve the deep issues, okay? But I'm just saying this is very unevolved behavior we're talking about. And lastly, I would also say just because Tauruses have a tendency to stay in situations for a very long time, especially situations that aren't necessarily the best for their whole thing and mental health and stuff like that, they may do something drastic because they want to break out of that situation once and for all once they are finally fed up, even though it can take a while. But once they are fed up, they might just say strip, bye. Why a Gemini would cheat? Oh, this is kind of a joke because I think we all know the answer. And don't get me wrong, I love Gemini energy, I really do. Like, my descendant is in Gemini, so a part of me is like this, and I've grown to accept that part of myself. But the Gemini literally craves a lot of variety. The Gemini archetype and energy needs a lot of different people and a lot of different conversations, a lot of different forms of stimulation in their life to really satisfy them. So relationships that are not bringing them a sense of excitement, a sense of intellectual mental stimulation, and they're just getting stagnant and boring, the Gemini cannot deal with it. The Gemini can be sneaky, it can be conniving, it can be really clever with their words, right? So then they can like finesse their way out of situations or into these situationships and stuff like that. And then in some situations they can cheat. They can cheat because they're not satisfied in that one relationship, because a part of them may be satisfied in that relationship, but another part of them is seeking freedom and like variety and wanting to go here and go there and hang out with this person, have sex with this person. A part of them is a little bit unstable while the other part of them craves this stable shit in their life. They can feel really, really conflicted and they don't know what to do about it. Their relationships could be a little bit weird because a lot of times they end up being in this standstill of like, should I commit to them or should I not commit to them? And a lot of times this can even translate into two different people at the same time. So seeing two different people and developing these really strong emotions for two different people at the same time. This is also facts if you have Gemini on your descendant, okay? A lot of Gemini energy can have a fear of commitment because they know this about themselves. They know, like, underlyingly they can be a little fickle and they can have a hard time concentrating on one thing at once because their brain's like, here, ooh, this, that. So they can fear commitment because when they think about commitment, they think about something that is too stable for them, and they know they're gonna get irritated after a while, and they know that they have to be in this type of situation that's actually going to allow them to have like wiggle room. But when they get into certain relationships that are very, very restricting and like very controlling, the Gemini will rebel and the Gemini will cheat. And this is not all the time, I'm just saying in that scenario this is why the sign would cheat. And then hands down, sometimes Geminis just want something new and exciting because, like I said, they like those really like drastic things. So it's like when they're in a situation for a while and they like it, it's cool, then the next minute they just want something that's different. They want something that's completely different and exciting. They really cannot help it. That type of shit really turns them on. New people, new conversations, new information. And like I'm saying, I'm not attacking your sign. I'm not attacking the entirety of who you are. This is is just a part of the Gemini energy that could be within inside you, and how much so is going to depend on a lot of different things in the chart. You could be a Gemini sun, but then everything else in your chart is like stable earth energy, so you're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, I like talking to people, but I'm hella loyal. Because guess what, we're all different. Lastly, I would also say if the relationship gets a bit too intense, the scorpionic plutonic type of relationship where it gets a little intense, it gets a little possessive, it gets a little jealousy, it gets a little like really deeply emotional, and like I'm never letting you go, I love you so deeply, a Gemini's gonna be like, whoa, maybe you should like calm down a little bit. Like, oh, Cancers, the sweet, loving, innocent Cancer energy. I know we didn't forget about that dark side of the moon that we can't see, right? I know we didn't forget about that, because that's what Cancers also embody as well. Yes, Cancers are probably one of the most loyal signs in astrology, right? They're one of the most loyal signs of the zodiac. They're all about security. They're all about family. They're all about the root cause of your emotions. They're all about this sense of nurturing. The mother archetype. Let me hug you. Let me kiss you. Let me adore you. I never want to let you go. You're always going to be my baby. But let a Cancer feel that way about you, and then you fuck them over. Ooh. If a Cancer was gonna be a serial killer, I'm actually gonna make a video about that. If a Cancer is gonna be a serial killer, this is the type of serial killer that's gonna do the crime of passion, a murder of passion. Because they were so emotionally invested in you, they're gonna do something to make you feel how they felt. So if you cheat on a Cancer, they might revenge cheat on you with another person. Because how dare you do that to them? I don't see this as the type of energy that's gonna just be cheating for cheating's sake. I don't see it like that, but I do see if a Cancer was going to cheat, it's going to be a revenge cheat. Also, if a Cancer was going to cheat, I think a Cancer would cheat because they were like emotionally invested. It would be definitely the type of cheating that's like an emotional affair. It might not be a physical thing, but they could like be emotionally so deeply interested and involved with another person, because you know a Cancer can have a lot of emotions, especially the Cancer moons, and sometimes the Cancer moons can even shut down, could even put a wall up around their emotions because they don't want to come off as the sensitive person. A lot of the times that could be the case. So then when they find someone that actually can understand them, and they find someone that can hold them and hold their deepest emotions and security, and they're not getting that from their partner, that is definitely a situation that could lead to some type of emotional affair of some sort, where they're trusting another person more than you, when they're loving another person more than you, when they're nurturing another person more than you. Another interesting way that this could play out is like they may like cheat if they feel like they're not being heard. If they feel like they're not being heard, if they feel like they're not being understood emotionally, and that nobody's paying attention to them, instead of like saying, pay attention to me, you're not looking at me, you're not hearing me, you're not feeling me, you're just shutting me out and you're shutting me down, and you can't, I feel like you're not listening to me. They might do something like cheating to get you to listen to them, and it's like a cry out for help, like, listen to our relationship, I love this relationship, but you're not listening to me, so I'm gonna do this stuff to get your attention. That's the unevolved energy, the unevolved energy of Cancer. I'm gonna make a video about that soon, unevolved energies, but that's what I'm saying, and that's why I feel like that's one of the main reasons why that energy would cheat. But I feel like really the most important thing is going to be they are just completely in love with somebody else. They are in love with somebody else. They have fallen for someone else. I don't see this as just the energy that's going to get bored and that's whatever the case is. If they ever cheat in any type of way, whether it's emotionally or physically, it's because they are in love with that person, or they're trying to be emotionally manipulative. Because like I said, don't be fooled. They have that side in them, because they understand emotions better than any other person. So if you trigger them the wrong way, they can show you the dark side of the moon real quick. Oh, Leos. You want to know why a Leo would cheat on you? Because you're not giving them enough damn attention. Because a Leo craves attention from their partner. They crave a partner that really puts a lot of energy into them. They see that they have this amazing queen or king in front of them. Because of that, they understand that the person that they're in a relationship with should like not exactly be a fan, because they also don't want you on their nuts that heavy. but they need to feel that the person they're in a relationship with really craves them and really wants them and really adores them, is really romantic towards them, gives them a lot of attention and affection in a reasonable amount. So if it starts getting unreasonable and that person isn't showing no love, and that person is making every other female or every other male or whatever the case in their life be on a higher pedestal except for the person that they're in a relationship with, if they feel like you are not putting them on the highest pedestal, but you're putting everybody else on the pedestal and you're putting every other person in front of them, they're gonna hate you and they're gonna make you feel jealous. Because of Leo, that is classic Leo. If they feel jealous or insecure, they're going to make you feel jealous or insecure because they want you to understand and know the type of person and the type of royalty that you are dealing with. Okay, so this is the type of energy that can definitely like tell you about how other people were flirting with them today. If you're not really receptive to that, then they could actually cheat or whatever the case is if they were going to cheat, because usually Leos are really loyal. But if they were like super insecure and uninvolved, then this is definitely the type of energy that's going to entertain other people so that they could feel good on the inside and like so they could know that they are the shit. So if you're the type of person that is making them feel bad about themselves, you know, you're really tearing them down or you're making them feel insecure, they're going to want that energy to be given to them, and they might seek validation through other people adoring them and loving them and being obsessed with them. So if you're not giving that to them, they could seek that somewhere else. They really want to just feel like they still got it. So they can be super flirty, super flirty. And that always might not be translated directly as cheating. That Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry situation where Ayesha just wanted to feel like people liked her. She wanted to be a MILF, okay? She wanted some fanboys. That the Leo archetype really likes that. They like feeling desirable. This is the sun. So if they feel undesirable and because your actions aren't showing them that you care, let's say you are a man and then you have a girl best friend, if you're constantly like talking to your girl best friend all the time, giving her compliments like, oh, you look great today, and you never say that to like your wife or your girlfriend, oh my god, she hates it. And some Leos might not admit it, but she hates that, okay? And lastly, why a Leo may cheat is because they always want the best, okay? These are the kings and queens of the zodiac. So if they feel like you're lacking, they're like, hold up, like this person is not doing what they need to be doing. I did not sign up for this in a relationship. So if you lacking and you're not presenting yourself in a way that is also queen and king-like to match their fly, they could cheat on you because they're like, yo, like, I deserve the best of the best. I'm a Leo. So if you're not the best of the best, they're not going to be that into you. So if a Virgo was going to cheat on you, they would cheat on you because things were just getting way too busy. Everybody's working too much in the relationship and you guys just don't have time for each other. You guys are constantly always working on your own projects and endeavors, and you guys never make time for each other. So while the Virgo is at work, this person is going to come up and be like, yo, hey, yo, baby, you work so hard. You gotta relax, like you gotta chill. You gotta calm down, like you gotta unwind. You always working so hard, baby. Oh my god, that type of person would definitely tempt the Virgo, because the Virgo usually is working so hard on their endeavors and goals and being this perfected individual. So when the person that's a little rough around the edges and a little bit more chill comes around, yeah, they could cheat because things are just getting way too routine. Things are getting boring, and the Virgo secretly craves the energy where things are a little bit like more fluid, a little bit more fantasy, like a little bit more passionate and just very Neptunian. So when it starts getting like way too routine, a Virgo could think that they want somebody that's kind of like that, but a part of them actually wants somebody that is a little bit more loose around the edges and easygoing. So if they're in a relationship with somebody that is way too like got a stick stuck up their ass, when they meet the individual or get talked to by a person who is very like loose and chill and relaxing, that could definitely tempt them to cheat. Because there's just no fun. There's no fun at all. Something that also can lead a Virgo to cheat is like overthinking. They'll overthink everything. They'll think so much, and the next thing you know, they're like overthinking their way out of a relationship with you. And like I said, uninvolved energy is going to cheat instead of actually communicating about their feelings. The uninvolved Virgo is going to like overthink their way to a conclusion that means cheating, instead of let me just break up with this person. They're not satisfying me and all of my needs. The uninvolved Virgo energy is like, you know, let me just be a little clever and finesse. And this is the type of energy they'll just look at their partner sometimes and be like, this person's kind of ugly. Because they secretly like they like that perfection. So when they start seeing all the flaws just gotta pop out, and they start popping out all at once, they're like, yo, they look for people that they feel like are perfect. And this is not really a conscious thing. Sometimes it's subconscious. When a person's flaws really start popping out, like sometimes they can just get a little too much, because they're like, yo, like I didn't sign up for this. So they lose interest. You're no longer their ideal person. You're kind of just like this thing that they ended up with, and they're like, what happened? And they start freaking out. Even though I don't see a Virgo really cheating, if you always constantly criticize them and always constantly pick out their flaws and make them feel like less of a human being by ripping them apart with your brain and words and actions, right? If you start pulling them apart and looking at all their flaws and stuff like that to them, you start doing that to them, then they start feeling like shit about themselves, because they already do that to themselves. So then you're just like doubling that energy on top of them, and they just can't do it. They will suffocate, and they don't want to feel like that. They want to feel like they're almost perfect and like they have everything together. And sometimes another person can make them feel that way. So yeah, when you're no longer meeting their standards, then bye-bye. Why a Libra would cheat? A Libra would cheat on you because you guys were never friends to begin with. This is an air sign. It's a very mental energy. Yes, the Libra is ruled by Venus, which is really romantic and really flirty and really beautiful, all that good old stuff. But at the end of the day, it's also an air sign that craves a mental connection. So a lot of the times, if they get wrapped up into the romance part of it, and they get so deeply invested romantically into a person but never got the opportunity to really to build a friendship. Do you even like this person? Yeah, you might love them, but do you even like them? If they don't like you, then they could cheat on you. Because like I said, this is the sign of relationship. So if somebody also has their sun in the 7th house, like this is a person that literally feels complete when it comes to having partnerships and relationships and friendships with other people. So if the relationship that they're in starts getting a little rocky and shaky and like, you know, inharmonious, because they do crave harmony, which is why most of the time they would probably just break up with the person. But if they were uninvolved, they would seek elsewhere so that they could find that harmony that is not present in their current relationship. And sometimes a Libra doesn't want to disrupt things so much that they don't use their voice to kind of speak out and confront issues head on, so they can go through things in this roundabout way instead of being direct and confrontational about what is the actual issue at hand. So instead of, I don't know, breaking up with a person, then some Libra is going to be like, let me just kind of like get what I'm not receiving from another person, instead of telling the person that they're with, like, hey, I'm not satisfied. They were on the fence about the relationship to begin with. Like, this relationship didn't start from a foundation that was stable, and they didn't have time. They were almost pressured into a relationship with you. This is almost bound to end up bad. Kind of like I was saying before with like, do they even like you? You know what I'm saying? Because the Libra energy can be very flirtatious, and a lot of times, especially Libra risings and stuff like that, these are people that are beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're attractive, they're charming, they're diplomatic. We love it. A lot of people will crave them. And if somebody's not like evolved, then this is like a person that recognizes all the attention that they're receiving. And if they weren't really like that into you to begin with, then I don't know, hey, cheating happens. They do like flirting, so like if you never really flirt with them and you never show them that you're really attracted to them, but another person is complimenting them and charming them and having this like cute banter with them, then definitely cheating could occur. But like I said, we're all not cheaters, and this is just a video talking about energies. So you want to know why a Scorpio would cheat? One of the first things that comes to mind when it comes to a Scorpio cheating, I think you guys could guess, it would be a revenge cheat. It wouldn't be the type of cheating that just happens because they just want to cheat and that's just who they are because they're super promiscuous. I don't think so. Even though everybody looks at Scorpios like there's sex. Like, oh my god, yes, Scorpio, sex. Scorpio literally rules the sexual organs, reproductive system. So yeah, sex. They must be out here just having sex with everything. And let me tell you, that's usually not the case. Most Scorpios are intensely loyal and passionate, but that intense energy could go either way, child. It can be scary because some unevolved Scorpios can be very manipulative. They can be very vengeful, and they can just like want to get back at you. So if you cheat on a Scorpio and they are really heavily invested and they love you, that is why they would also cheat on you back. It's almost like a petty thing, and then it's not just gonna be anybody, it's gonna be your best friend. Like your mom or your dad or your best friend or your ex-girlfriend or their ex-girlfriend. Oh, this is another energy that could also go back to a previous lover because, like I said, they get so intensely wrapped up into the people that they love. So a lot of times they could get into a relationship with a person even though they weren't completely over the last person that they dated or the first person that they dated back in high school or something. So somehow that person that they never really got over just ends up coming back into the picture because they just weren't able to release that person. So then yeah, they could cheat on you by cheating on you with a previous lover. And sometimes you would never even know that they still think about this person because the 8th house is all about secrets. Okay. Also, on a more shallow level, there's literally no sexual spark. Like, there's no sexual oomph to your sex life. If the sex is lacking, a Scorpio definitely could feel like cheating on you because, you know, especially Scorpio Venuses, like, yo, they need that shit, yo. Like, I'm not even gonna fret. Like, a Scorpio needs some bomb sex. Like, they cannot deal with a super sexual snoozing relationship. Sex is a big part of how Scorpios show that they love you. They make love to your dumb ass. So if they feel like you just, you know, it's just not good, like, that could definitely, they might not be satisfied in that relationship. And lastly, even though it's not likely, if the relationship itself is just lacking depth, like there's no deep feelings, no deep emotions, no intensity, and it's just really shallow and bland, they might cheat on you because it's just kind of like, what is this? I'm not here for this. This is not toxic. I'm just kidding. It's like they really do crave an intense relationship, an intense connection with a person that almost feels divine. So if it just don't feel like that and it's not giving them none of that, like, they might just be out here like, you know what? Let me just have some fun. Sagittarius. A Sagittarius is gonna cheat on you because they just love new experiences. They love expanding their horizons and their mind, and, you know, they like traveling and exploring things and tasting different foods. So they might even taste different people as well. They feel bored and contained and restricted in their current relationship. They want something that is expansive. So if they feel like you're like hugging them and holding them for dear life and trying to squeeze them to the point that they can't breathe because they're so suffocated in a relationship, the Sagittarius is gonna be like, oh my God, I cannot deal with this. I need to go. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run, and if I see somebody really hot, I might have sex with them. Because the Sagittarius loves the freedom. They don't like to feel confined. So if you try to confine them, that is a reason that they could feel more likely to cheat. Like I said, this is not all Sagittariuses. This is just certain energies that could be present and certain reasons for why the sign and the energies would do what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the energy. If it don't resonate, get out of here. They will literally do stuff because it just seemed great. It seemed like it could be a good time. I thought it might be fun. New experiences. So like I said, that's why Sag would cheat on you, because they were just craving a new experience, and sometimes they do stuff for the moment. They're always constantly thinking about the big picture. So the Sag is gonna be like, you know, honestly, like, we're like 22, 23, 24, whatever the case is, and life is so big. There's gonna be so many people. There's so many people involved in our life, you know what I'm saying? For the rest of our lives, we're gonna meet all these people. So, I mean, like, you never, like, you know, like, I just did it, all right? I just did it because why not? This is life. Classic sad shit. And I would also say, if the relationship itself just is lacking a sense of excitement, you guys never try anything together, you guys never do anything, you guys never like try to, I don't know, stretch boundaries a little bit, like, then yeah, the Sag might be more inclined to cheat on you. The Sagittarius really does crave like intellectual curiosity, not in a Gemini way, but in a sense where they're always trying to really expand their philosophies and create their theories on life, and, you know, always thinking about the higher perspective and politics and religions and cultures. They're just really like that. So if you aren't like down with hearing stories about their travels or about different ideas, and you're kind of really focused on like one thing, and you're kind of narrow-minded 24/7, you really don't have the type of mental capacity to think big and expansive, and you're just like, this is life and this is what it is, the Sagittarius can get bored with you after a while, because they like that expansive mindset. So if you lack in that, that's gonna make them more inclined to cheat on you. You know, the Capricorns are another sign that is like, Capricorn cheating? What? Yeah, and I feel like Capricorns could cheat if they just felt like the relationship wasn't like doing anything for them, and that could like translate in a lot of different ways. If the person that they're with isn't providing them with a sense of security, they're not securing their bag, and they're just kind of being this person that is lazy and doesn't want to do anything with their life, and is being like completely all over the place and strung out on coke, the Cap is like, yo, like, I can't deal with this. And sometimes in like really extreme examples, the Capricorn energy, especially if somebody has like a lot of Capricorn energy and all their love planets and personal planets and stuff like that, they are really thinking about that bag and just thinking about that image. When they get involved with other people, they could get into a relationship that was just based on image, but then they could have this like secret love affair with the other person that they're really, really into while they're in this relationship that is for the public. Because let's just face it, Capricorn is not cuddly energy. It's not. Like, let's just be honest, Capricorn is not cuddly energy. Capricorn energy is cold. It's Saturn. Somebody with a lot of Capricorn energy or a lot of 10th house energy is really thinking about their image. So they could definitely be in a relationship where it's good for their image, but then they're secretly sleeping with somebody else on the side, because Capricorns can be some of the most underlying freaks in the zodiac. Like, I'm so serious. Capricorn energy can be nasty. So if you're not providing them with that outlet for y'all two to get nasty, lady or man in the streets, but the freak in the sheets, okay? So if you have no freak inside of you, that might not be as attractive to a Capricorn either, and they may be like, yo, like, I gotta get that somewhere else because I be working so hard, I need to let loose, okay? If they can anticipate the breakup is about to happen, they could just be like, instead of like just breaking up, they feel like the breakup is happening soon, within the next like couple weeks. So then when they do meet a person that they're just like, yeah, like, you know, I'm actually attracted to you, they might just say F it and just kind of like sleep with that person, because the relationship's ending anyway, so like, why not? And kind of going back to the kinky thing, on the opposite side of the same coin, if they feel like they can't truly express their desires with you, those really deep, dark desires that they really can't share with anyone, if they are not able to share that, or they don't feel comfortable sharing their more internal emotional sides of them with you because you don't make them feel comfortable enough to do so, another person could come around that for some reason they feel like they can trust and open up to that person, you know. cheating happens. The Capricorn likes control. So if they feel like you're starting to really control them and have more power than them in the relationship, like that can actually be something that kind of like makes them feel uneasy. So like they could cheat on you because they're like, this person has way too much power over me. Oh, Venus in the 10th house energy, Capricorn energy, that's all up in your chart. On the negative unevolved side, this could be the type of person that is going to do anything to get to the top, okay? And I'm talking about sex. They could literally have sex with somebody in order to increase their status in life. Like I said, this is the unevolved Cap, because I already know there's gonna be Capricorns in the section like, what do you mean? I don't do that. I would never. I care. I have feelings. I know you have feelings. And plus, I'm not talking about you in particular. You have a whole chart, okay? We're all different. But I'm just saying, a lot of people with a lot of Capricorn energy, a lot of 10th house energy, this is the type of energy that can sleep with people to like upgrade their status in life. Point blank, period. Like, let's just be real and uncut about it. So that could definitely be a reason for why they cheat on you. They could cheat on you because they find it beneficial to them, because it's going to bring them money, because it's going to bring them success, and because it's going to bring them status. So Aquarius represents groups of individuals. It represents the collective at large. So when the collective is involved in a sign, Aquarius is not going to be the type of person. It's going to be the opposite of the Leo, and the Leo is all about the individual, the individuality, and the Aquarius is about the benefit of humanity. So when you get in a relationship with this character, yes, they could freaking love you and adore you, but at the same time they could feel that way about you, but at the same time they could feel the exact same way they feel about you with a couple other people. Because let me just break it down to you, if you're not really weird or really different or eccentric or just unique, an Aquarius after a while is going to be like, this isn't exciting, this is kind of boring, this person isn't different, I can figure them out really easily. A lot of the times an Aquarius can be very rebellious, and this rebellion could even happen in relationships. They might want to rebel against the traditional relationships in society and whatever the case is, okay? Some Aquarians could be really rebellious when it comes to relationships because they always seek freedom. They want freedom. They want freedom to do whatever they want, okay? They want freedom to be the innovative energy that they are out in the world. So a relationship that is super traditional and monogamous and kind of boring is not going to satisfy the Aquarius. So if the relationship starts feeling that way and you start trying to restrict the Aquarius and try to tell the Aquarius what to do, they're going to look at you sideways. Aquarians low-key have an ego that we're not going to talk about in this video, but they can. So if you try to tell the Aquarius what to do and tell them that they can't do this and they can't do that and they can't talk to this person, you can't dress like that, whatever the case is, they're going to be like, screw you, I'm going to go have sex with a lot of people or a person, or I'm going to text a bunch of people or talk to a person or just be this rebellious individual. A lot of the times, if they're just not that deeply committed in the first place, it's just not gonna work, and they could cheat on you because of that. Because a lot of times if you try to push an Aquarian into a relationship, they're gonna be like, whoa, like, what are you doing, baby girl, baby boy? I don't got time for that. Like, this is too much. Aquarius can be a little bit cold too. Like, this is traditionally ruled by Saturn once again. So like I said, you try to push them too much, then this is definitely a type of energy that can fall back or rebel or do some other stuff with other people. Y'all, Megan Thee Stallion told us this. Megan Thee Stallion, where her Aquarius ass told us, okay?
Don't ask questions if we just sexing. I got situations, no confirmations. Everybody wanna know who making dating. That depends on whatever the date is. I got a man, but I'm fucking around because I'm young and I can't be tied down.
She can't be tied down. She doesn't want to be tied down. So if you start trying to wrap a rope around the Aquarius, that Aquarius might cheat. And a lot of times they can be attracted to like flings. They can be attracted to situations that they feel like aren't gonna last too long. And sometimes an Aquarius can really be attracted to the type of person that's really unique and cool, but then at the same time is like unattainable for some reason. And that just really excites the Aquarian person instead of the person that's always constantly being like clingy. The Aquarius person is going to be attracted to the person that's like not giving them much attention, which is kind of like of counterproductive when it comes to relationships, because in a relationship, the person ultimately, at least in my point of view, is somebody that should desire you. But sometimes for some Aquariuses, they don't like when a person really is like super into them and super like desires them, whatever the case is. They can kind of fall back from that and be like, this is a little too much. They like people that they can't quite get. And not all Aquariuses are going to agree with me or even see that within themselves, but I've seen it again and again and again. They're always chasing something that can't quite be attained. And I will also say, once again, this is kind of going into that energy. Aquarians love friendships, right? They have a lot of friends or acquaintances, whatever the case is, but definitely when they get in a relationship with somebody, they need to have somebody that is like their best friend first and then builds the relationship and comes the relationship afterwards. So if this thing that you're in did not start with a real friendship, a real solid friendship, and it just kind of started from this other place, then that's not really a good foundation for, a healthy relationship with an Aquarius, because they crave that friend in a person first. So, that could get them to cheat. So if they don't really like you, because that's what being a friend is all about, if they don't really like hanging out with you and like you as a person and like doing stuff with you and want to bring you around their friends and all that type of stuff, then, that could make them more likely to cheat on you. They already, especially Aquarius moons, they already have that reputation for being a little detached, so it could be easy for them to detach from you. Last but not least, Pisces. A Pisces is going to cheat on you because they just don't know how to say no. Because a lot of the times, this is the type of energy that can fall victim to being really sacrificial and self-sacrificing for other people. So let's say you're in a relationship with this person, and then this other motherfucker comes into the picture and they're just like super needy and they're struggling, and the Pisces is gonna be like, wait, like they need my help. I need to help them. I need to give them my energy because they're suffering. They low-key are attracted to people who are suffering and who are needy. So if that type of person pops up into your relationship, they might cheat on you with that person, because ultimately they thought they were just doing that person a service by helping them out, but it ended up turning into something that it didn't really need to. Because sometimes the Pisces have a tendency to not think things through. They're reacting straight on emotion. There's really no boundaries with that Pisces Neptune like energy, it's boundless. There's no boundaries. Sometimes they can let outsiders cross their boundaries because they have a hard time of just putting up that wall and saying, listen, this is what this is what it isn't. It's easy for people to break through the relationship that you guys had. Sometimes the Pisces energy could get way too caught up in the moment and way too caught up in the fantasy and the delusion, okay? The illusion and delusion, just being confused and getting too caught up into that fantasy that they have when it comes to dreaming about other people. They didn't think it through. They just kind of let it happen because they were in a spell. That is definitely one of the reasons why a Pisces would cheat. If they are fantasizing about another person and then the opportunity arises for that fantasy to become a reality, they might slip into that situation and end up cheating on you. Sometimes the Pisces energy can be that non-confrontational that instead of just sitting down, expressing their feelings and being really clear, raw, and uncut, like the Virgo is going to be like, this is how it is, this is what's going on, this is where we're going. The Pisces is like, could just approach the truth in this really roundabout way. So a lot of the times they can cheat on you because they feel like that's their only way out, and they don't necessarily have to deal with the consequences of telling you actually how they feel on the inside. I would also say, like I said kind of before, a Pisces is really helpful and really likes to sacrifice himself for other people. They like to help people that are in need. So a lot of the time, especially with the Venus and Pisces energy, they can really be there for humanity. Like this is completely like no ego energy. So they're like, yo, me and you are the same. If I'm helping you, I'm helping everyone. I'm helping everyone in existence. So they could just be really open people, and sometimes if that's not checked, then they're just loving everybody. They got love for everybody, and then next thing you know, like it's just some boning happening. It's the orgy. I'm just kidding, but you know, this is like just one aspect of that energy, y'all. I'm just kind of letting y'all know, if the cheating was going to occur, these may be one of the reasons for why it occurs. Okay, I'm not saying that Pisces are cheaters, whatever the case is. I'm saying if they was gonna do it, this is gonna be why.